This one's quite common to many different washing machines. All of them have a little bit different way to gain access, but here it is. I'm going to show you one of the most often causes of a washing machine not spinning, even though the motor's running.
Standing on the edge of death and life, standing in between right.
Welcome back to Country Maintenance. Most often cause of a washing machine not spinning at all is a lid switch, but beyond that, if the motor is working, it's running, but it's not spinning, what it most often is a broken coupling. These little plastic pieces meet up and they sit on the shaft of the motor, and they allow the motor to turn and rotate the other coupling that connects to the clutch of the machine. Now, sometimes you can have a clutch malfunction as well, and that's a much less often cause of a bin not spinning, but that does happen. But most times what happens is one of these plastic couplings crack or break or just get so worn that the motor is spinning or the shaft is spinning, but the coupling's not turning. The motor can just sit there and spin in between a cracked coupling, and so you're hearing the motor running, but the bin is not turning. And that's the most often cause of a washing machine that's spinning or not spinning even though the motor's running. Now these aren't too difficult to remove. Usually it's the two metal clasps that hold the motor on. Oftentimes you have to take the pump off and move that off to the side. You don't necessarily need to disconnect the pump from the hoses. You can just disconnect the pump from the side of the motor, from the opposite side, and then you'll unhook the two clamps, and sometimes there's two screws that hold the two clamps on, and that'll allow you to lift the clamps up and fold the motor down. You'll unplug the disconnect, and that'll allow you to move the motor out. Watch for the motor mount grommets, those little rubber pieces that hold it in place, but then that gives you access to the coupling. Couplings aren't always that easy to slide off of the motor shafts, but once you do, it's a very inexpensive part to replace. But again, sometimes they crack, and that's the most often cause of a washing machine bin that's not spinning, even though the motor's running. And one very important thing you should be aware of, everything inside the washing machine is extremely sharp. It's unfinished metal. I actually donated some blood pulling this one out. Wanted to spare you from having to go through that. You know, everything in there, it will slice and dice you, so be real careful as you're pulling these out. Washing machine coupling pulled out the motor here, just so you can see what it's got is these couplings. Sometimes these will crack right across here, and it uses this rubber grommet that links one side of the coupling to the other side, to the motor, and the motor is just held in with these clips here. Each of those parts probably aren't really called grommets, the black parts. One is probably the link, and the other four are probably the motor seats. They allow for a bit of vibration.